Good morning, beautiful spirit. Director Arundel here from Abel Spirit to Me, and I am Abel. Aum, Soham, Hansaha, Swāhā. I just did a video last night, which I was very excited about. I'm doing another video this morning, and I'm going to be doing a third video. This second video is explaining the new technique, exactly why it works, well, let me just dive into it. There's a lot. I don't want this to be completely random, so I took notes. And even with the notes, it might still be difficult for some concepts to sink in. Sorry, I'm going to turn this heater off. Less background noise. Okay, so anyone who watches my channel, you know I'm all about energy and how it makes you feel. And there's no doubt in my mind whatsoever that I have had a Kundalini Burst because last night I couldn't sleep. I was so excited. I stayed up until about 1 a.m. or so, writing down ideas, etc. Then I went to bed and woke up around 5 this morning, not tired, just boom, wide awake. Let's get to work. So, two signs that Kundalini is bursting. Number one, you're not tired even if you can't sleep. And number two, you have energy and excitement to do a project. So that's what I'm doing. I got up and I started taking notes and writing down exactly how I was going to do this. So once again, this video is on the new energy technique. And I'm not sure what I'm going to call it yet. I think I'm going to coin it Infinity Energetics, but I don't know if I love that yet. Okay, so this is a combination of many different backgrounds as far as spirituality. There is a video, or I should say a movie on YouTube called the Celestine Prophecy, or Celestine Prophecy. Celestine. Now, it was free. I had it saved in my, it was called The Way. It was a playlist of videos that I really thought were great and get you to the point. Anyway, that's been turned private, so you might still be able to find the video. But that is a prophecy that came out of Peru, I'm pretty sure. Now, what I find interesting about this prophecy is that it kind of goes against Newtonian physics. So, Newtonian physics, a very cute, materialistic way to think about energy, meaning that energy is neither created nor destroyed, it just changes form. Okay, that's great, but it doesn't explain any extra phenomenon that we can't understand currently. So, let me give you the bottom line of the Celestine Prophecy. And first of all, I wanted to say that the Newtonian physics idea, it's very limiting in our abilities to understand or even consider new things. So, I'm against limiting concepts. So the Celestine Prophecy says that if one person wants to give energy to another person, you're giving energy and you're getting nothing back, so you're losing energy. And if that person is giving you energy, they're losing it and you're gaining it. But if you both have the intention of giving energy to each other, on purpose, deliberately, you're aware that they want to give you energy and they're aware that you want to give them energy. When you do this, the energy actually multiplies by a lot of I don't know if it's a tenfold, or I don't know if there's a number on it. So the Newtonian physics idea is that one person loses energy, the other one gains it, and that's it. And if one person were giving it to the other person and this person were giving it back, there would be no net change. Both people would be giving and receiving the same amount, right? It's like a circle. But the Celestine Prophecy says the opposite, that when you both give energy to each other intentionally, it actually multiplies by a lot. So that is where this idea comes into play. Now, I also want to point out that this new technique is similar to Reiki, and Reiki came from Japan, and it's also similar to Taoism, which came from China, and it's similar to Buddhism and Kundalini and Hinduism. So we have these different ideas that come from various places around the world, Peru, Japan, China, India, so far, and other places too, even Christianity, if you would like to throw it in there, because we're going to get to that right now. Okay, so there are some big concepts out there. You may have heard of the term living word, and you may have heard of the term word of God, or the creation sound. So these are difficult concepts to understand because the spiritual literature will tell you that they have power. Literally, these words contain energy. And the thing about words is, uh, it's even hard to explain, even though I wrote it down. Words are physical because you can see them and you can hear them. But in reality, if I were to scrape off all the ink from these words, it'd be very, very little and it would mean nothing. So the words are physical, but they're more than physical. They have energy inside them. And this is where mantras come from. And it ties into Reiki. With Reiki, there are certain phrases that you can proclaim to actually tie yourself into this lineage of energy that is designed for specific things. Now, I'm not going to talk about those because I'm trying to make this unbiased and not make anyone freak out by having to use words that they're not comfortable with. So we're not doing that. But my point is that the Om sound is supposed to be a creation sound. The Word of God is talking about reading spiritual literature. Living Word is actually talking about bringing in energy from spirit. So it's very, how do I put it? People can get upset if I don't say this correctly and they might disagree with me. But the bottom line is that words have power and it connects you to an energy. And that's what we're going to be doing. And I'm letting you kind of get a preface of what's happening. So now there are two main energy types. You know, I talk about this all the time. It's the yin and the yang, the Shiva Shakti, the positive, the negative, the masculine and feminine, etc. Now, once again, in my humble opinion, it's flipped. And, you know, masculine, feminine, feminine. Which one is which? It doesn't matter for this conversation. But we have two types of energy. Now, one of the types of energy makes you powerful. It gives you willpower. It makes you change things in your universe, your reality, to what you want it to be. And the other power makes you loving. It makes you accepting. It makes you at peace. So you want a combination of both. You want to be powerfully loving or lovingly powerful, right? Both. A good balance of both. And that's balance. That's equal. So loving energy is a part of the vibration where you see the beauty in everything and you want to share it. So I want you to listen to that. Your goal with the loving energy, energy from up there, is to share it with other beings. So you want to heal and help others, so you feel the calling to an extent. You get deep realizations and connections, intuition. So that's the energy from above. I like to call it the yin because I don't want to call it God energy or masculine energy. You know, I don't like that. But we'll call it yin. The other energy is that of Kundalini. It's from below. It's yang. And it is happiness. It's bliss. And it's because it makes you feel good. You feel motivated, excited, tireless, antsy, and optimistic, blissful, and powerful, and confident. So once again, I had a Kundalini burst last night. Still going. I have all of these symptoms right now, right? Absolutely. So that's the yang. So how does it all connect? We simplify and combine different practices simultaneously. So first thing, what are we doing? We are remembering the ideal vibration / mood because we already know it, but we forget. So all children experience this ideal vibration. In my previous video about how to become breatharian and how to advance in spirituality, I mentioned that you achieve a certain feeling. And it's difficult to explain, but you feel really wonderful. You feel completely accepting, happy, and wanting to help others, as well as confident, strong, tireless, etc. It's amazing. And that's what I would call the breatharian vibration. But it's more than breatharian vibration. It is your highest self vibration. So we already know it, but we forget it due to our life circumstances, our ego, our aversions and attachments to the experiences that we have distort this highest vibration that is our natural state of being. So, how do we get it back? And the answer is we are wishing it onto others. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. So once again, the Celestine Prophecy. So putting others first is the key. So I learned by doing Reiki that using the energy to help others helped me. However, even Reiki teaches you to not use your own energy, but to tap into the universal energies first. So once again, I'm sorry folks, I'm going to take a drink of coffee real quick here. For the record, not because I'm tired, I just like it. It's a wonderful morning drink for me. Okay. Reiki tells you never try to heal somebody with your own energy. Always try to heal somebody with energy from the universe. And how do we tap in? There are a lot of ways. Once again, I said there are certain phrases or words that you can use to channel the energy. People don't like the word channel. To embed, to bring in the energy. You can use a word or a name. You can chant, you can pray. But I prefer a very simple and all accepting method, which is ask for assistance from all benevolent beings of light and love who only want the highest and best possible outcome for all beings and who expect nothing in return. So once again, my personal belief is with spirituality that energy is infinite and I do not need anything from anybody to live a wonderful, happy, blissful life. There's enough. I'm sorry, guys. Hold on. I'm going to pause it and clear my throat. Okay, I'm back. Thank you. So, again, I don't believe that I have to ask for anything in return to do spiritual blessings to others or heal them or give them energy, etc. Because there's enough infinite energy out there already. So, the best way for us to invoke this energy without using our own is to wish goodwill upon others, and we can ask for assistance from universal energy that is infinite. So we don't have to worry about using our own energy. So, next step number 4, after we say, okay, please, any being of light and love who wishes to share their benevolent energy for me for the highest good of all beings and would expect nothing in return, I ask for your assistance now. And I dare you to try to say it and see if you don't feel it, because I feel it. Every time I say it, woo, tingles. Okay, so step number 4, using our power of visualization to manifest, we visualize someone we love absolutely and want to heal. We want to make them smile. We want to make them excited about life and happy, right? So I'm going to introduce the Taoism, microcosmic orbit now. And it's very, very convoluted and deep, right? There's a whole lot of stuff going on there. But we're going to make it simple. So I'm going to turn this camera around if I can. First of all, this is not working. Sorry, guys. Okay, so the classic microcosmic orbit shows that you start here. This is a beginning of the functioning channel, which means the energy from above comes down, and it goes down to your perineum, down at the bottom of your body. And the other channel, which is the governing channel, goes up the spine, up to the crown and forward. Now, I have a couple of different colors on here because my personal practice I like better. So when I do practice, I breathe in from my forehead. My tongue is on my palate. I bring it through my forehead. I naturally feel the air coming through my throat, through the top of my chest, and it sits there in my lungs and heart. So I breathe in, and I just imagine the energy going down into my heart, and I just hold it there for a moment and let it out. And then I breathe in energy from my heart down through the upper belly, solar plexus, the lower belly, and down to the gonads, the sexual organs. But I usually just breathe it right into here first. So from my forehead, I breathe down into my heart. That's one breath, I let it out. Breathe in from my heart down to my lower belly. Hold it in there for a minute, let it out. And then once again, I breathe in, feeling the energy go down through the gonads, through the perineum, through the tailbone, through the lower spine, right below the ribs, and up to the middle of the shoulder blades, right behind the heart. So there's 4 circulations from the forehead down to the heart, from the heart down to the lower bladder, to the lower belly, from there to the back of your shoulder blades, and from there up to your crown. Now, this diagram is from online sources as far as the original microcosmic orbit, but I'm trying to point out that it is very, very busy. And it just means the same thing they already know. The energy comes down from above, that's the yin, that's the loving energy, and it goes up from below. That's the governing channel, the yang, the kundalini, and that's the happy energy. Okay, so that diagram I know is intimidating. That's why I wanted to talk you through it. The process is going to be easier than what I just showed you, okay? So, beginning practice 4A. Once again, we're thinking about someone that we love and want them to be happy and healed and healthy, etc. So using our imagination, we see this beautiful, adorable person in our minds. Now, this is just like praying for someone. If you're not opposed to praying for someone, this is the same thing. So don't worry about affecting their energy. If you believe prayer is not going to affect them negatively, then this won't affect them negatively. And they also say that about Reiki. Reiki never has negative effects on anybody. It's only healing energy. It's only life. There's only, there's death and there's life, and it's only life. So you cannot hurt anybody by visualizing this person and doing these practices. Now, if you are opposed to praying for someone or affecting someone else's energy, you can also simply imagine a pet that you love or a little animal in the nature that you wish to comfort. So when I first started doing this, I didn't know how I felt about visualizing any people. So I was visualizing my little dog. And the reason I was doing that is because my little dog had a bladder infection. And I was like, okay, well, let's see what happens if I visualize this little guy. And he's a cute dog, so I did want him to feel better. I want him to be happy and comfortable and loving. We don't want him to be angry, right? So when I first started doing this practice, I found it difficult to feel the energy in my different centers. I mean, is the microcosmic orbit, trying to feel it in my forehead, in my throat, in my parathyroid, in my heart, etc. So I was finding it difficult to feel the energy in my different centers, and I was nervous that I was doing it incorrectly. However, as I continued, I just made myself do it. My fears left and bliss began to show up. And it's very difficult to explain, but when I was doing the governing channel, which is the energy, the yang, coming from the bottom up the spine, I started getting these blissful sensations, like these little tingles, these chills of pleasure. And when that happened, I had ideas. New realizations popped in my head and gave me ideas to try. So my first idea was to think of my daughter. I only ever want the best for her, the absolute best in every way, no matter what. So I began visualizing my eldest daughter, her little body, as the schematic shown, the picture that I just showed you. I just imagined her little body sitting there, and I only want the absolute best for her, nurturing, loving, healthy, happy, strong, everything, right? So as I breathed in through my nose with my tongue on my palate, right? I imagined bright, loving light enter into her forehead, her third eye, and I felt it in my own body at the same time. And I continued breathing in, and the air naturally goes down your throat, so you feel the air going down your throat. And I saw in my mind the energy going from her head through her forehead, down through her body, through her throat, and down through the upper chest and into the heart. So I saw this brilliant, white, powerful light enter into her head, going down into the body, into the heart. And while I was breathing in, I was thinking, what do I want to be? And it was powerfully happy, right? Or happily powerful. So combining the yin and yang is what I want to be. That's the ideal vibration. That is the perfect balance. So then I realized the key, which is wishing it for her, once again, actually gave it to us both. So while inhaling and seeing my sweet girl getting energy, I was internally chanting, loving and happy. So it felt natural to hold the air in my chest for a moment and letting out naturally with no strain. So I was seeing her little body have energy go into her head, down through her throat, down through her chest, and sit here for a minute. And I was saying, loving and happy, wishing with all of my best intent that she is loving and happy. And I held it in for a moment and just let it out naturally. So then I continued through the path. Every time I did the governing channel, which was the spine channel, I got bliss and ideas. So then I began visualizing my other daughter, who was a baby, and this gave me a new wonderful lightning thought. Now, once again, I'm going to do another video going through the actual process. So I'm not going to go through the whole process right now. I wanted to explain why I came up with these things. So I was visualizing my little baby. She's almost a year old. And seeing her little body with this energy going through her, I had this wonderful idea. So this is the advanced practice. If you don't like the next part, you can do what I just mentioned, and I'll go over how to do that in a minute, or on the next video. But on this part is if you believe in a deity, if you believe in any kind of deity, it doesn't matter if it's Nordic or if it's Hebrew or if it's Hindu or Buddhist, or I don't care, anything. If you believe in a deity. So the advanced practice and ideals, but actually quite easy. So people already say things like, oh, sweet baby Jesus, don't they? Now, they adore him in a manger. They already are used to seeing this baby Jesus in a manger with reverence and love. So what happens if you do the practice that I just mentioned on sweet baby Jesus in your mind instead of someone on the physical earth that you know personally? You lovingly wish him only the best, loving and happy, right? What happens? Boom. That's what happens. What happens is you have amazing energy and feelings that come from the spirit world into your energy body. It's hard to describe, which is why I'm trying to make this video and we can talk about it and actually go over it in the practice. So this gave me even more ideas. There are 4 different types of, how do I put it? Relationship with God that is talked about in Hindu scripture. They're called rasas. The relationships are master and servant. That's number 1. The second one is friendship, meaning you think of God as one of your buddies. The third one is guardian, meaning you think of God as your child, like, oh, sweet baby Jesus. And the fourth one is lover. You think of God as your significant other. And it's difficult to get to the different rasas, but each one is stronger and stronger and stronger as far as the energy you receive from the spirit world. So the practice that I'm telling you to try to do is choose your deity in whatever form you like to see. So whether it's baby Jesus, or if it's grown-up Jesus, if it's grown-up Krishna, or grown-up Buddha, baby Buddha, anything. It doesn't matter. It maybe you actually believe in the the Nordic gods like Thor. You just visualize in whatever form you want, and you're going to visualize that deity in your mind, and you're going to do the microcosmic orbit practice, seeing that deity be healed with energy through all the centers, and you're going to be saying loving and happy while doing it. And when you're sharing this energy, wishing the best for this deity is actually giving it back to you. That is the sum of what this practice is. And it's not difficult. It just has a lot of concepts behind it. When I do the guide, you'll see how easy it is. You can do this while you're sitting there driving your car to work. You don't have to do any exercise. You don't have to do extreme focus. All you have to do is breathe and visualize this beautiful being healed. And that's it. It's so simple. It's almost like it's not fair. This video is 25 minutes long. I'm so sorry about that, you guys, but this was important. I'm going to do a video on the actual guided practice, and I'll probably make it into an MP3 so you guys can listen to it in the car too. All right. I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you have any questions, please write them down or email me. Like, share, subscribe, comment, or email at rectorarondale@gmail.com. Be well, you guys. You know I will. Bye.